From the Aishin Broadcast Studio, it's the Under the Radar podcast.
Elitek Vehicle Services, an LKQ company, is the premier sublet provider for mobile and remote diagnostic services.
Hey there, it's Jason Stahl with another episode of Under the Radar. And first off, I'd like to thank our friends and sponsor, Elitek Vehicle Services, an LKQ company. Well, today I have a very special guest. He is Joseph Fenstermaker. He is the district manager for Elitek Vehicle Services out of the Northeast, particularly the Mobile Services Division. Welcome, Joe.
Good morning, and thank you, Jason, for the opportunity to join this.
Oh, you're very welcome. And so in our last podcast, we talked to your colleague, Don Smith, about what Elitek Vehicle Services is, what the services you have, what you offer, and also your mission and your goal to service the real customer, which is the collision repair facility. That is your customer, and that is your sole focus. Even though there's other entities in this transaction, the customer is the collision repair shop. So he went over all that. And so today, I wanted to talk to you first a little bit about the difference between mobile scanning versus remote services in the calibration space. So the difference between mobile and remote.
Absolutely. So while both these services are different, they complement one another very well. Where we have a remote tool and the remote services that we can provide, we have a very fast turnaround. So within 3 minutes of connecting that to the vehicle, we can get a scan, a diagnostic, or a baseline calibration done. It's primarily going to be used for your pre-scans and post-scans, where it's a time crunch in that cycle of getting their vehicle repaired. Where we have our mobile services, where that differs is we still have a fast turnaround time. We're 24 to 48 hours to have a live individual on site, tools in hand, performing those services. Where those differ, remote has that fast turnaround time, but mobile can come in as a backup. And if there's something that has to escalate into more in-depth diagnostics, something that needs hands on the vehicle, additional targets, tools that cannot be sent through, a Wi-Fi signal, that's where the two come together and they complement one another, and where the two differ from one another as well.
Yeah, I think we just did an article in Body Shop Business on ADAS calibration, and the author said, it's not that remote doesn't work, but there's no substitute for a live person to be next to the car. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. For advanced as our remote team is, there are still some capabilities for that personal touch and the on-site technician, and I completely agree with that.
So I know you have both collision and mechanical customers. Tell me a little bit about how their needs are different.
All right. So while they still have the same end goal of getting the vehicle fixed, the path to get there does have a little bit of a difference. Our mechanical customers are going to be primarily module replacement and reprogramming, matching that vehicle or that module back to that vehicle, as well as doing some wire repairs, diagnostics, and AC services. Where we come into the collision market, we encompass all those mechanical needs of that mechanical shop. And we also go into the vast majority of ADAS system calibrations, where we're either doing dynamic or static targets, and then we're also doing the safety system resets. And that's really where the two differ. Collision will encompass all mechanical with those two other majority aspects.
So Joe, walk me through the process from start to finish, from the time a body shop finds you, books an appointment, whether that's online or a phone call, or maybe they text you. I don't know what the options are to book an appointment with you, from the time you show up to the body shop, and then the time that you do your work, whatever that might be, and then finish the job, and then maybe, I don't know if there's any post follow-up. Walk me through the whole process.
Okay, maybe a little long-winded, but we're going to give you the full detail here. So our customers can reach us by several different manners, whether it's going to be phone, through our mobile app, or through email. That all comes to our dispatch team. One of our representatives in the dispatch will then take that customer inquiry and turn it into a service appointment. That service appointment rolls up to our localized general managers who balance the schedule and make sure that we can still maintain that 24 to 48 hour turnaround. So they'll then schedule to a technician. If the customer is to request an ETA, our technicians will be prompted to then reach out to that customer, let them know when we are to arrive, anywhere within that window and sometimes even prior to that 24-hour mark. Once the technician arrives at the facility, they will make sure that they reach out to the point of contact who made the service appointment. That being said, they know exactly what the expectation and the outlook of the customer is, and also to find out what truly was done to the vehicle. The technician will then go through the process of diagnosing, calibrating, programming, in relation to the request, verifying the repairs of the requested services, and then also observing the vehicle for anything that may be of a recommended service. Then going back, communicating with the point of contact for approval or a decline on the services. And if the services are approved, do the services that were recommended. Again, verify the repairs, test drive the vehicle, make sure everything is restored back to OEM appearance and operation, depending on the repair. And then they will come back into that point of contact, notify them that the vehicle is repaired, and then also go over the invoice so there's a clear understanding of the services we provided, and there's really no question. And then, providing that we are giving a clean bill of health at the end of the time.
Presented from the Ishin Broadcast Studio at Babcock's Media.
So Joe, you guys aren't the only mobile diagnostic service out there. What separates Elitek from the competition?
So here at Elitek, what separates us is the fact that we have remote and mobile, two services that complement each other. And we have a team of technicians that are dedicated to find the concern and fix the concern for our customer.
Excellent. I'm going to reference another article we had in the magazine recently where the author said, if you can't fix my problem, you're only part of my solution. We're hearing cases out there where a body shop may utilize a standalone calibration center and they can't fix the problem. And then they say, well, we're sorry, and the vehicle goes back to the body shop, and then what? So his point was sort of, do you have the experts on staff to fix my problem? Because the last thing I want is to have to take the car and now what do? Sublet it to a dealer, maybe whatever the case may be. How does Elitek ensure that this scenario doesn't happen?
So when we're building our team of mobile technicians, we're getting the top 5% in the country. Highly certified, highly intelligent individuals that know how to find a fix in a car and want to find that fix. And part of that comes from the culture that we create within our organization. We want dedicated employees, and we also support the dedication to have technicians that not only want to stay for us for a long career path, but also want to take that same dedication to the customer and our customer service, finding the fix and not just throwing in a towel and wanting to stay from start to finish.
Joe, you mentioned culture earlier. Talk to me about how Elitek has built that culture and what it all comprises.
That's a good question. Coming in the culture, that is quite a task for us as we are a mobile organization. We don't meet at a central location every day. We have technicians that are out essentially, on their own island. And we do our best to make them feel as they're part of a team, even though they're out by themselves, running from appointment to appointment. And when it comes to the culture, the way we build that is making sure that our team members feel as they are part of a team and that they're constantly supported. And not only from peer to peer, but also, from an organization standpoint, where we're providing them with all the tools that are necessary, making sure they have the OEM level service equipment. We have a technical training team that does continuing education, and we fully support that internally and externally. So not only what we are creating on our own, but we also support some of the industry recognized certifications as well. We also have a technical support team that is dedicated just to help our technicians. And that also adds into passing that vehicle off. There's always help within our organization, whether it's a dedicated team or it's peer-to-peer, or our technicians are networking from one another to find that fix and then not pass that vehicle off to the next hand.
Well, Joe, I can't thank you enough for your time today. I think we learned a little bit more about Elitek Vehicle Services. This is wonderful. You guys are a solution. You guys are the experts. Body shops are still way over their head with this stuff. Vehicle electronics, scanning, calibration is not their comfort zone. They're learning very fast. They're making mistakes, which is great for the learning process. The equipment is coming a long way, but it's nice to know that you guys are out there for a body shop to be the total solution for them. So thanks again for your time today.
Absolutely, and thank you for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm Jason Stahl. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this episode of Under the Radar. For more episodes, visit bodyshopbusiness.com.